Hi there, my name is Sky Blue Carnegie and I'm one of these people with ADHD and talking today to people who are in relationships with people with ADHD. And so super glad that you're here. Thank you for taking the time to get to know and to get to understand your partner more. And what you'll find is it's a two-way street. It's not just about you getting to know your partner more, it's about them getting to know you more as well. So we're going to look at what is ADHD and how it impacts your relationship. So society sees ADHD as a lack of attention, focus, scattered, struggles with memory, struggles with time management. And it also very often comes with things like anxiety, depression, frustration, not feeling known, understood, that hopelessness, feeling out of control. And so all of these things will really have impacted your relationship, I'm sure. The frustration of your partner, like forgetting to take their lunch or not being on time or not seeming to care enough about you, like seeming to forget important things, seeming distracted and all over the place. And to explain, the neuroscientists will say, okay, it's actually a neurological disorder and the prefrontal cortex on the right-hand side is diminished. And this prefrontal cortex is responsible for focus and attention and memory and all that kind of good stuff. So let's take some drugs and let's try to manage with some solutions and you're done. So being very ADHD myself and looking at all these solutions and listening to so many people with ADHD and them saying, you know what, this stuff doesn't work and it doesn't feel quite right. So I dug down deep, and what I came up with after years studying as a psychotherapist in England and going to the mountains 5 years, studying the motivational people, the spiritual people, putting everything together, I recognized that actually people with ADHD really just have a heightened sensitivity to the wonders and the promises of life. What this actually means in reality is we are very, very sensitive to some of the senses, noise, touch, overwhelm, things going on, sight, so many of those things going on. Also, very sensitive to emotion, so very reactive. And if things are good, they're really good. And if things are bad, they're terrible. And so there's that kind of roller coaster going on. And the great news is that we're also phenomenally talented and fun and wonderful and never boring. So we've got great gifts and talents. It's almost like there's a blessing and a curse, really, it comes with. So there's heightened sensitivity to so much of what is. Now, when it comes to solutions, this is really good news because the brain has plasticity, and when we're able to deal with the sensitivities and the emotions, and we are able to put a framework around ADHD and put some practical stuff in place, but really to understand what's going on. So for the individual. So rather than say, hey, you got a disorder and it's terrible, terrible, say, oh man, you got brilliance, but you're super overwhelmed all of the time. Let's figure out this overwhelm. Let's celebrate who you are, and then we'll rock this thing. In relationships, we've got the added thing that most people with ADHD have had a lifetime of being ostracized and left and bullied, and everybody has their different path. But it's a struggle because they're different. And very often they get into relationships with people who have also struggled through their lives. So just as this is about understanding what is ADHD, it's also about understanding what do you bring to the relationship that you need help and understanding with, because it's the only way, of course, that relationships work. So we do need for you to understand your partner as an individual and a magnificent individual, and to understand really what ADHD is. That's going to help you so far along the journey. And it's also about recognizing that ADHD is kind of like a trauma. It's like overwhelm, overwhelm, overwhelm. And of course, very often attract people with similar. So it's about you saying, okay, let me get clear on what I'm bringing and what I need. And then when the two of you can come together understanding that, then everything changes. And right here, right now, we've got a ton of free resources for you. There's a cheat sheet for this video, and we've got with all the like solutions and what and the why and the how and the now. And we've got a series of these videos to help you just understand a little bit more deeply. We've also got a relationship free ebook for relationships. The free book that we've got, What Every Child Wishes You Knew About ADHD, is very relevant to anybody, what anybody wishes you knew about ADHD. So they're all free downloads. And we also work with bringing couples together so that we're able to fast track in like a breakthrough session. What is going on with one partner? What is going on with the other partner? And how do we combine them? So there's so many resources and blogs, and I know that relationships are at the core of happiness, and I mean, there's lots of attachment stuff, lots of abandonment stuff, and lots of emotion and pain, but also phenomenal joy and fabulousness. And we want for you the very best, because life has been a long, struggling journey, no doubt, since you're here. So good luck, and let us know. Just take all the free resources, check out the blogs. I've written everything, especially, knowing this journey, having seen it in so many people and having lived it myself. So big love, good luck, and thank you for joining.